for joining us today. We are going to be sharing play. And we're going to start by talking about one of my favorite books that came out this year and one of Shelley's favorite books as well. This book is called Drawn Together. This story features a grandson and his grandfather. The grandson's going to visit his grandfather, and they speak two different languages. I think sometimes when there's an age difference between friends, it can be really hard to find that common ground, that something that you can relate to, something that you can talk about and share together. And what our friends find is that they can share art. And it says, we see each other for the first time. All the things we could never say come pouring out. Our share play that I'd like to bring up is sharing art. And maybe you and your child decide to make a mural or create a picture. And instead of having your own pictures, maybe you work on the same picture and you bring your art together and you create together. I have a young friend that I oftentimes do crafts with at the library. And one of the things she shared with me is that when she does art, it opens her up and it allows her to say things and speak her truth in ways that she never thought she could before.
Another great way to play with babies and toddlers and preschoolers is the flip side of art, science. Not the opposite, because both involve an awful lot of creativity, and yes, even babies can be experimenting with and playing with science, because as far as they're concerned, everything they do is science. All they do is learn about the world around them. I love all of those new board books for babies and for young toddlers that have the very improbable titles of Baby Loves Quantum Physics, Baby Loves Coding. Do we really expect babies to love quantum physics or even understand quantum physics? No, we don't. But we can introduce those books to them. We can introduce books like This Little Scientist, a Discovery Primer. And in sharing really fun books like this, that the vocabulary might be ahead of where your child is definitely ahead of where your child is. That's okay, that's not the point. The point is we can normalize who belongs in the science field. The baby in quantum physics, there's no gender attached. Call her a she, why not? Talk about people like Grace Hopper, who just absolutely revolutionized computer programming. Talk about our friends who love animals and gorillas like Jane Goodall. There's Stephen Hawking, who uses a communication device to speak. There is everyone's hero, Neil deGrasse Tyson. We all know that there is a true diversity issue in science fields, even though there are girls who love science and are skilled in science. What we can do is we can normalize the idea of women in these spaces and people of color in these spaces. The way to make change is to normalize boys and men seeing women in the field and seeing them have an interest in being successful and tearing down some of those preconceived notions that have stuck around for far too long. Is that idealistic? The idea that sharing a board book with your baby could change the world? Yeah, probably. But that doesn't mean it's not a reason to try, right? Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.